Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tangier Talks. I am your host, Tangier. I feel like I have literally recorded this episode like three times, and this is not something that I do. I'm like a, one shot deal, and I just, that's it. But I'm not sure if it's the topic at hand or if I want to make sure that I am clear, but I'm just struggling. Um, my episode today, I really want to have a personal conversation surrounding love. I feel like for me, I have so much love inside to give. Um, and I'm also ready to receive that, right? And I do receive it, but I'm looking for it in like a romantic way. And I feel like this has been something that I've been going back and forth of whether or not I wanted to share because it's very personal to me, and it's just not something that I'm ready to like open up with, or I guess not even really open up with, but it's something that I'm still like navigating, right? Um, because when I think of just love itself, it's been like a journey that I've been on with myself for a couple of years. Just trying to decipher like what does love look like? What does it mean? Like what does God say about love? So like I took some time to kind of go through the Bible one day and pick out different things that or certain scriptures that I see what, how God says, we should love and what love looks like there. Just because I needed it from a different perspective as opposed to the one that I was taught, or whether it was from like the familiar side or um just societal, the societal thoughts of like what love should look like. And I'm like, okay, I think I have some sort of concept, but I think this is something for me that'll just be like an ever evolving and an ever changing thing, really. And I'm okay with that. I think I've grown to understand that it's just something that I'm always going to still be uncovering, right? Because when you think love, right, you think, for me anyway, I automatically think about the love that I have for my children, which is just a love that's just never going to die. It's the love that I have for my kids. And it's just no matter what they do, it's never going to stop, right? And then you have like the love that you have for your family, that your family of origin, so it's like your family you're born into. So that's, that I can love them. I mean, I like them all the time, I like what they do, but there's still like a love there, right? Then you have the love that you have for your friends, and that's a love that you've built, over time as you've gotten to know them, and they, lived many lives with you. And then it's like that romantic component of love. And I think right now for me, that's one that I kind of struggle with, because it's like, okay, that your life is in shambles, right? And I don't even mean it like it's in real shambles, because it's really not, but it's like it's in shambles, right? Like it's a lot of different parts of my life that I need to really be putting my head down and focusing on. And like best believe I am doing that, right? But it's like, okay, so what's the problem with me wanting to have that romantic love? Like, what is so difficult? Like, why is that so hard? Like, why do I shame myself for wanting that? Like, we all desire companionship, right? We weren't meant to do life alone and by ourselves in this bubble, that, or bubbles that we create. We are meant to do it, with a partner. And for me, for a long time, I have really just been like shaming myself for feeling that way and feeling like, okay, your life looks like this, so that shouldn't be your concern. And I actually was just on the phone with my best friend, and we were talking about it, and I was telling her what this episode was going to be and how I didn't even really want to put it out because I'm like, oh, I don't even want to talk about that. Like, I might just want to talk about that on a voice note to myself. And it's like, no, I think that this is something that a lot of us like grapple with, you know, with this like love thing and feeling like, okay, your life doesn't look like this, so you can't have this. And I think a lot of that too is just like that self, um, like like the self-worth part. Like, like you're worthy of love regardless of whatever your life looks like. Like my life don't have to be perfect. It could look super wild crazy, but that doesn't escape the fact that I desire to be loved and I want to be loved and I deserve to be loved. So I just have been still just unpacking that and what that looks like for me. And until I can, I guess, put some sort of focus on the romantic love portion of my life, I can show love to myself, right? So, like, what does love look like for me at this day and time, you know? And I realized that love to me looks like obedience and it looks like consistency. So it looks like, when it comes to going to the gym, when it comes to doing whatever external things that I have to do, or whatever goals that I've set for myself, just consistently doing that thing, right? Like just doing that. And then when I say obedience, in a sense of like, okay, when I hear God say to move and to do this thing or to act this way, to just do that. So like right now today, that is like what I view love to look like for me. It just looks like me moving in and being consistent with the things that I set out to do, and then just also being obedient and listening to what God tells me to do. So that's really that. And that's really hard in itself, especially that obedient component, because I definitely want to do what the fuck I want to do. And I don't want to be listening to what God is telling me to do, but He's telling me to be kind to people I don't even want to be kind to. I don't even like these niggas. I gotta be kind to them. So that make me mad, but I'm doing it because I'm hard headed, but I definitely I'm listening to what he's telling me to do, right? So that's a tough one for me, and that's one that I definitely am still navigating in this season. So that's how I'm showing, love to myself. Also, too, like practicing gratitude and, understand like where I am right now isn't necessarily where I'm going to be. And I'm constantly becoming and evolving and like understanding the two and holding space for the two of them to coexist, because that's important too. And I know for me, sometimes I can get really wrapped up in the right now, and it could just be like such a downer, not realizing like who I used to be is like so far different and so much better than, or sorry, the person that I am now is so much better than the person that I used to be. I was good at that time, but I'm even better now, and I'm only just going to get betterer in my Cardi voice. Also, too, like ways that I can personally, or I have been showing myself love, is like I said, like the self-care stuff, like so those kind of rituals. So like going to the gym, doing my skincare, carving out time to rest. um those are ways that I really have been like pouring into myself, and just because it constantly just a reminders for me that I'm already worthy. Like I don't have to become a thing or become a person or have a title or have X credit score or whatever to be worthy of love. Like I'm worthy of love right now as I am. I'm just enough right now. um Same with like setting boundaries and really just to really ensure that I don't settle for less than I deserve. So whether that's in a corporate space, whether that's in your friendships, your families, whatever, like just making sure like you set those boundaries, because you not the one or the two to be played with. you know and then like a really big one is celebrating the small wins. And just wins as a whole, but definitely the small wins. Like I feel like, we get caught up in like the day to day that we don't even think about the things that we're overcoming. So whether they be like financial milestones that I can, think back on, and whether it's career advancements, and then like whatever professional breakthroughs that I have, those are ways that I can, celebrate myself, and that's a form of love from me, right? um and then also affirming that love, right? Like I am an affirmation girly. I love an affirmation. Love it, love it, love it. So, a few affirmations that I have been saying to myself that has been sustaining me in this season is I am enough. I am deserving of love, both for myself and others. I am open to love that nurtures and supports me. And heavy on that last one, because that's really important. And the one thing I can say is I am really surrounded by so much love. I have so much love from my peers, like from my children. Like I am really loved. But it's like, okay, what about that, that romantic love? Because I feel like most days I'm stuck between being a real ass nigga and like a lover girl. And it's like, this is a hard life to live. I'm a YN and a YB at the same damn time. And it's hard. It's like I got all this love I feel like I have to give and romantic love at that. But it's like, okay, well, where is it gonna go? Where am I, I'm able to pour it into. But again, I realize that I can just continue to, give it to myself, give it to my peoples, give it to my children. And then at some point, when that romantic component, comes around for me, I'll be, really, really grounded in myself and my own self-love that I will be able then uh, to share that with someone else. So, if you guys are in a very, similar space where you're trying to like navigate your personal growth while still, feeling open to love, just know that I see you, I support you, I stand with you. And we don't have to be in a rush to force anything, rather, or rush anything. And we just have to trust that what is meant for us will just align naturally. And God's love is enough, really. Like the love of God is enough. And also understanding that God didn't put us here to just be doing life alone and by ourselves. And, He'll send us the peoples in which that we need to support us through what it is that we're going through. And, and a lot of and really in the unlikeliest places, I feel like is where you will, find love. So I feel like I've talked about this already with a couple people. However, if you guys want to continue this conversation, please, because I love a good chat, please feel free to DM me on Instagram at Tangier Talks, or drop a comment to me on Threads. Or if we peoples like that and you got my number, text me, call me. Let's really talk about this because I feel like, I'm not alone. It's like, how is my life in shambles and I'm out here talking about love? I don't get enough of it. Like, what? Like, but you need to be focused. You focus on the wrong things. You need to be focused on something else. But it's like, no, I can do both. Again, duality. Duality is very, very much a thing and it's very prevalent. And this is a point in which it really is. So I thank you guys for taking the time to listen. Again, please feel free to follow me on Instagram and on Threads at Tangier Talks. And until next time.